It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. Worldwide Sports Radio presents the Haystack Show. With Mike Guido.
And here we go. It is a Wednesday. At least I think it is.
Yep.
It's the Haystack on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, WorldwideSportsRadio.com. We apologize for no cameras, but that's okay because I actually don't apologize. I didn't do my hair today. That's a lie. I did. God, I'm lost. I'm lost today. I'm lying to the public. I'm not doing anything right. Mike Guido, Evan Mazza, Matt Caterizzola, good to have you in here on a Wednesday. Plenty to go over today. Is he worth it at the end of the show today? Barrington Grant at 12:30. It's a usual Wednesday, but it's a special Wednesday because you're actually going to get some emotion out of me. I know sometimes I can seem very robotic. It won't happen today. Here we go. Let's go off on somebody very, very specific, even though we still don't know who it is yet, and I doubt we ever will know who it is. Let's be honest about something. How do you not vote for Derek Jeter? And listen, I'm not one of those guys that cares too much about this. I really am not. Okay? If you get into the Hall of Fame, you get into the Hall of Fame. It does not matter how many votes you get. Okay? Whether you're unanimous, whether you get 75%, just the fact that you get in, right? This was a very short class this year. This was Derek Jeter and Larry Walker got in by the skin of his teeth. Congratulations to both. Absolutely no problem with anything. Okay, I don't even really have a problem with Derek Jeter not getting in unanimously because I'm not a guy that cares. But let's be real about something. How do you not vote for Derek Jeter? It is Derek freaking Jeter, the face of the Yankees. He's won 5 World Series titles. He's played 20 years of his career. Okay? He's a 14-time All-Star. Okay? He's won 5 Gold Gloves. He's won a World Series MVP. He's a 5-time Silver Slugger. Okay? He was Rookie of the Year. Do we need anything else? He's one of the most iconic Yankees players of all time. And he's not, in one guy's mind, not deserving of getting into the Hall of Fame. He only had a career batting average of .310. He only had an OPS of .817 in his career. He only had 3,500 hits. Are you serious? Okay, this is where the hypocrisy comes in as the media. Okay, the media, we love to bash athletes. Okay, I do it on here all the time. I sit here and I wreck Odell Beckham Jr. I sit here and I wreck Baker Mayfield. Okay, I sit here and I've blasted Antonio Brown. And all of them are deserving. I sit here and rip people for a living. That's what I do. Okay? And I've always said, people like Antonio Brown, people like OBJ, I always criticize them for virtually almost the same thing. They want to draw the attention. Social media, all of that garbage, all of that fits into the notion of we all want attention. OBJ went to the national championship game, made a fool out of himself because he had a down year. He only caught for 1,000 yards. He was the second best wide receiver on his team this year. And he got a little out of hand. He wanted the attention. He hadn't made noise in a while, so you know what? Let me just make a fool out of myself. Get myself back in the headlines. Let's be honest, okay? Okay, you think that I think Antonio Brown's got some crazy stuff going on in his life. I think he's got to get a lot of things figured out with him. But you don't think AB is trying to keep himself relevant a little bit? So he'll say something on Twitter, and it's not I'm not talking about calling the police on his girlfriend. I'm talking about sending some sort of tweet. That back and forth with Robert Kraft. It's attention seeking. Let's be real. It's all about attention. Little do we know, writers, the media, sports talk show hosts, all of us guys, we all want attention too. This is what this is. Okay? Stir the pot. Gets people talking. Writers will do things like this to stir the pot and get attention. Okay? I don't know who voted. I don't know if we'll ever know who voted. But we do know that we do know that particular writers understand who it is. Whether they want it to come out, we will find out. And we're going to figure this out now. That guy who didn't vote for Jeter is going to become the most popular guy in America for about a week. And that's all we need. Some guys, okay, the media does this thing, and we all do it. All of us do. Something called a hot take, right? I'm not interested in hot takes, okay? I feel like if I make my opinions off of hot takes, I'm not trying hard enough, okay? If I formulate my segments and I design my topics based on a hot take, I'm not trying hard enough. That's not a good enough angle. I'm not interested in them, okay? I'm not going to make a hot take just simply to make it. I don't do that, okay? If I don't have reasoning behind a thought, I don't have that thought. I'm sorry. This is nothing more than a hot take. Jeter's not a first ballot Hall of Famer. Let's be honest. It isn't like he was that great in the postseason. Give me a break. Give me a break. If you had to spell out what the qualifiers are, and this is the only way that I could possibly understand or relatively justify not voting for Derek Jeter, is if the guy that didn't vote for Jeter didn't vote for anybody. He submitted a blank ballot. Okay, nobody is deserving to get in this year. Nobody. It's the only way that I could even relatively justify it. And I got to be honest with you. If you're a writer, you didn't vote for anybody in the hall to get into the Hall of Fame in any particular year, now you're just being a you-know-what. You're being real picky.
Jeter should absolutely be a unanimous Hall of Famer. It's not in. It is. It's crazy. It is weird to see. That we do have someone think that Jeter isn't a first ballot Hall of Famer. Derek Jeter is one of the few baseball athletes that should be unanimous Hall of Famer.
He's one of the greatest shortstops of all time.
Oh, he is. What's interesting is, again, you look back in time. It's really interesting to look back in baseball. Baseball has gone on for a long, long time. That one player has only had a unanimous vote of Hall of Fame.
And it's Mariano Rivera.
Last year.
Mariano Rivera.
Ken Griffey Jr. didn't get a unanimous Hall of Fame vote. Tom Seaver, Nolan
Ken
Ryan,
Griffey Jr.
Cal Ripken.
The problem is
Hank Aaron was a unanimous Hall of Famer. Hank Aaron. It's.
I know,
it's really
so many guys.
Those guys are just named. Those are unanimous Hall of Famers. First ballot unanimous Hall of Famers. Derek Jeter included.
Right.
And
all those guys should have been. Like, if you didn't think Hank Aaron was a Hall of Famer, I don't know what to. What?
Johnny Bench.
The guy at the time broke the home run record.
Johnny Bench is arguably the greatest catcher of all time. Not a unanimous Hall of Famer.
I know. That's my problem. Is the fact that we've only had one guy unanimously voted into the Hall of Fame is absurd. Okay? There's got to be that there's this rarity with it. It really shouldn't be that rare. If you're really deserving of getting in, one guy's got to be the guy that says, well, no, he's not getting in for me. I'm smarter than everybody else. Give me a break.
Willie Mays and Ted Williams, maybe the two greatest, along with Babe Ruth, maybe the two greatest baseball
And you know what the sad part is? That's probably his reasoning. Well, Ted Williams didn't get in unanimously. Who cares? They got voted into the Hall of Fame when? 1949?
Ted Williams in 1966.
I mean, Jesus. Seriously, 60 years ago. 60 years ago. And we're making the argument of, well, Ted Williams didn't get in unanimously. That is such a lame reason. Okay, if we're going to go by that barometer, then literally nobody should be a unanimous Hall of Famer, no matter what, because nobody's better than Babe Ruth. No, acknowledge the fact that Babe Ruth should have been unanimous. Acknowledge the fact that Ted Williams should have been unanimous. And acknowledge the fact that Willie Mays should have been unanimous. Hank Aaron, all of those guys. Okay, Sandy Koufax. Seriously, Walter Johnson. Name the guy. Name the all-time great. Ty Cobb. Honus Wagner. Name the guys in baseball.
Roberto Clemente, Vladimir Guerrero.
Well, Vladimir Guerrero, you could make the case. But Roberto Clemente, absolutely 100%. 100% should have been in. Jackie Robinson. Okay, all these players that should have been voted into the Hall of Fame unanimously and didn't, and you're going to use that as your reasoning to not get Derek Jeter in? That is absurd. It's absurd.
It is almost like a weird rule. It's like a rule that we got to find the perfect player. But when you know, maybe that's it. Like Mariano, I guess to maybe the writers was the perfect situation for them, the perfect player because he was the greatest closer of all time.
But even you could make the case for Mariano Rivera.
They pitched
right?
1 inning.
Well, he was a closer. He pitched 1 inning. Mariano Rivera wasn't very good as a starter. Okay, when they tried to make him a starter, he wasn't very good. They put him in the bullpen. He was the greatest closer of all time. But there was a case against Mariano not being unanimous in that respect. Okay, you can nitpick any player in history.
I think the difference between the case for Mariano being unanimous, where it doesn't exactly fall in line with Jeter, is that Mariano is the single greatest American athlete at his respected position. When you talk about gap between the best and the second best. So when you think, okay, we always talk about the who's the greatest basketball player of all time. It's Jordan, but not very far behind him. We could talk about guys like Kobe, LeBron, exactly. So the guys behind him aren't super far behind him. The gap between Mariano as a closer and the guy who was second best,
right,
as a closer,
right,
it's not even in the same breath.
Right, you get into Eckersley and you get into Trevor Hoffman.
Exactly,
right.
Those guys don't even hold a candle to how dominant Mariano Rivera was as a closer.
Lee Smith just recently is going to get in the Hall.
Lee Smith, I think, is getting in on the Veterans Committee. He didn't get in on the ballot.
Right. Yes. So when you consider things like that, when you consider Mariano being so incredibly dominant at one position that he set himself apart from any other guy who played that position as well, I think if I'm a voter, if I'm a writer, that's how I'm looking at it. That's the perspective that I'm taking it from. Whereas Jeter, Jeter, I think there's two things that come into it. One of them is clearly Yankee bias, which is a real thing, by the way.
All right. We got to slow down the Yankee bias thing.
It's a real thing,
The only player to ever be voted unanimously into the Hall of Fame is a Yankee.
I believe he would have been on any other team, too.
But he made his career as a Yankee.
Okay, that's not his fault, but I'm saying
I can't really say Yankee bias. Again, I can't really say Yankee bias when, again, he was voted by everyone except one guy, Derek Jeter, and Mariano is literally the only player ever to be voted unanimously. I got to disagree with you on Yankee bias.
He would have been in it if he wasn't a Yankee either, though. I could say, and again, maybe the same thing for Jeter can't be said, but I think it probably had something to do with it. Again, we don't know the guy's motives. We don't know his reasoning. But I would say that had at least a little bit to do with it.
Well, I don't know.
If you talk to any person that is a Derek Jeter, is like anti-Derek Jeter, he'll tell you that he wasn't that good. Defensively, he'll tell you that he wasn't that good. The numbers are there, but when you talk about MLB writers and what they use to determine whether or not he's worthy of being a Hall of Famer, obviously they determined that he was, but if he's not unanimous, then who is? Who should be a unanimous Hall of Famer if Derek Jeter isn't?
And you go by the list. Yeah, you go by the list. You got Griffey, Seaver, Ryan, Cal Ripken.
All those guys should be.
Hank Aaron, Clemente, Jackie Robinson, Ted Williams, like all those guys should
and
be unanimous Hall of
every
Famers.
single one of those guys that you just mentioned should have been unanimously voted
That
in.
I agree with.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. And I put Jeter in that category.
Yes.
I do. Like, there is... Just think about it like this, too. Okay? If you have to check the boxes of... There's like a checklist that you've got to check every single box to get unanimously voted in. Okay? You've got to be a World Series champ. Check. He's done it 5 times.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? The barometer for getting voted into the Hall of Fame
World
for
Series
baseball,
MVP.
more than likely...
World Series MVP.
Well, okay, if you want to throw that box in there too. Okay, there you go.
Jeter's
Check.
got it. Jeter's got it. Yeah.
Right, he has it. The barometer for getting voted into the Hall of Fame in baseball is normally you have to be great for 10 years. It's not like you can play for 10 years, you can play for 14 years and be great for 7 of them. No, you have to be great for 10 years, right? Derek Jeter was great for 15 years. In a 20-year career, Derek Jeter was the best shortstop in baseball for 14 of those years.
And in in 2012, he retired in 2014. 2012, he batted .316.
Right, exactly. Okay, he batted .316 at age 38.
Played 159 games that year, batted .316.
And he led the major leagues in at-bats. Okay, he led the major leagues in hits. What are we doing here?
Rookie of the Year, 5-time Gold Glove, 5-time Silver Slugger.
Really does
nothing
drive
else
me
this
crazy.
guy had to do.
The only thing he
didn't do is win MVP.
That's it.
The only thing he didn't do is win
never
MVP.
did.
But the only reason Jeter never won MVP is because he never hit enough home runs. Like that, Derek Jeter never, not once in his career did he hit over 25 home runs in a season. Not once.
The AL MVPs during Jeter's run, so this is 1996 on.
He finished second in the MVP voting in 2006.
You're looking at Juan Gonzalez, Griffey.
343. But also, compare this to Altuve's season. Okay? Compare this to Altuve's season where he beat out Aaron Judge. Okay? Derek Jeter in 2006, 343, 417, 483, and a 900 OPS, right? He had 14 home runs, 97 RBIs. He struck out 102 times, walked 69, 34 stolen bases. He had how many hits? 214 hits, and 39 doubles.
And that year in 2014 where Jeter had bad. The 2012 when Jeter had that great year. Miguel Cabrera broke the Triple Crown, I believe. I think that was the year Miguel Cabrera had the Triple Crown.
06 was. Or no.
2006, Justin Morneau won MVP, even though Jeter had more hits and runs. But
what was Morneau's numbers?
Morneau had 34 home runs compared to Jeter's 14. Jeter had 214 hits to Morneau's 190, and 118 runs to Morneau's 97.
No, but the 2012 year with Jeter that we mentioned where he led.
This is the 2006 season where he came in second.
I was talking about 2012, the year Jeter led the league in hits and he had that 316 batting average. That was the year Miguel Cabrera had the Triple Crown. You know.
Right, but Jeter didn't even finish as a finalist of that year.
That was Mike Trout, right?
I believe so. Yes.
Second to Cabrera.
Yeah, so 06, when Morneau won MVP, he had 321, 34 homers, 130 RBIs, 375 on base, 559 slugging, and an OPS of 934, 190 hits, 97 runs, 37 doubles.
Jeter did have a 343.
He struck out less and walked less, but, I mean, listen, you could have made the argument that Morneau should have won that year. I'm not saying that. That really isn't my argument. But what I'm saying is that if they're what is the possibility? What could you possibly be holding against the guy to not get him in? Like, what box doesn't he check? Is it because he never won a regular season MVP? Like, is that it right there? I mean, the guy's got, seriously, the guy's got 3,500 hits. 3,500.
And he handled, I know this is more so off the field than on the field, but off the field.
He treated the game with more respect than almost anybody ever.
That should be considered almost as much as what he did on the field, as
agreed.
what kind of person that he was.
Agreed.
And he handled New York as the leader of the Yankees, the captain of the Yankees, in the best way he can. And Aaron Judge, you see Aaron Judge doing the same thing.
You could say it as a Met fan, I bet, even.
Of course
okay,
I can say it. Met fan, baseball fan, doesn't matter.
The face of baseball for years was who?
It was Jeter.
It was Derek Jeter. I mean, like,
and then Mike Trout.
What?
And then Mike Trout took it. Now Mike Trout's the face of baseball, and as the captain of the Yankees, Aaron Judge is now taking that over. Aaron Judge, really, you could see, follows the same kind of mindset that Jeter has taken. What Jeter did in his time with the Yankees, winning championships and handling New York the best way you could. I think that it sets the precedent and it sets an example of how not only for a Yankee player but for any athlete who steps foot here in New York. Because again, New York for an athlete, it can consume you. Look at Matt Harvey; it can consume you. Jeter for 17, almost 20 years, handled it the best way you could possibly do it. And for any baseball fan, Met, Yankee, whatever fan, for any baseball fan, any sports fan, can look at it and say, yeah, Jeter was the best. He handled it the best way he could do it, not only on the field but off the field. So,
So there we go. All right. Whew. All right. I got fired up a little bit. Okay. Coming up next, I think that there's an interesting story about the San Francisco 49ers. And I think that everybody is taking more out of this than what should have been, than what should be. That's coming up next. The Haystack of the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
You're listening to the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. You're listening to the Haystack Show on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
I'm awake.
You sure?
No. All right, we're back. Good to have you back on a Wednesday. It's the Haystack of the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. Mike, Evan, Matt. It's great to have you in. Here's what I want to kind of get out, because, this is a topic that I think is, been going around for a while. And here's my thing about Jimmy Garoppolo. Okay, the things that I hear are, well, he's 21-5 in his career. What doesn't everybody see at this point? And my response to that is that it isn't about what we don't see. It's about what we haven't seen yet. Okay, let's try to put this into perspective. Okay, Jimmy Garoppolo is the beneficiary of a really great offensive scheme in San Francisco, right? Kyle Shanahan is an offensive genius, and the way that we're seeing things now is they are a power running. They run the football better than anybody in the league other than Baltimore. They run the ball so incredibly well. They have 4 great running backs. They have a great tight end. They've got a bunch of different receivers. They've got a great defense. Jimmy Garoppolo is in a phenomenal situation as a quarterback. I'm not using that against him, okay? But here's the thing that we got to remember. When people say, I'm not sure if Jimmy Garoppolo can make the big play if we need him to make the big play, that's valid. That's not criticism on Jimmy Garoppolo. That's just because we haven't seen it yet. He hasn't had to, okay? So, I like Jimmy G. Do I think he's special? No. But do I think that he's a starting quarterback and he's a franchise quarterback and you can move forward with him? Yeah. Jimmy G's a fine starting quarterback in this league. Okay, he's going to have seasons where he's a top 10 quarterback in the league. He's going to have seasons where he's going to be top 18. Like, Jimmy G is going to be a very, average to above average starting quarterback in the league. That's not criticism. Just because I don't think he's elite, just because I don't think that he's special, doesn't mean that I'm criticizing him. Okay? The best part about Jimmy Garoppolo is that he's handsome. Like that's his best quality here. Let's be honest. Okay? Jimmy G, as far as the qualities that you like out of him as a quarterback, he's accurate. Yeah, he is pretty accurate. But he does turn the ball over. He gives the ball up. Okay, he is not by any means necessary the perfect quarterback. He's not the perfect decision maker. Okay, he's an accurate guy, but he isn't a great deep ball thrower. But that's the thing. is Kyle Shanahan's offense fits perfectly with what Jimmy Garoppolo is. They don't ask him to throw the ball deep. Okay? Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't really throw the ball downfield. He doesn't. Okay? He averages 8.5 yards per attempt. That doesn't rank very high in the NFL. He's very middle of the road. Okay? He's actually below average in that category. They don't ask him to throw the ball deep. Okay? They don't ask him to move outside the pocket like crazy. Okay? They protect him well. It doesn't mean that I'm criticizing Jimmy G. It doesn't mean that the public is criticizing Jimmy G as a player. We're not. Okay? What we're doing is that, all right, if Jimmy G needs to get outside of his comfort zone, can he do it? Because we haven't seen it yet. And I don't think that's criticism. I think that is fair. And to be honest with you, like I said, the special from Jimmy G, I don't see it. Okay? The quarterback advantage in the Super Bowl with him and Patrick Mahomes, it's not even close. Patrick Mahomes is beyond better than Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, you're talking about the first or second best quarterback in the NFL compared to like the 14th or something like that. Like, it is not even close. Jimmy G is not close to Patrick Mahomes. But Jimmy G serves his purpose for the 49ers. He's won a lot of games. But to be honest with you, in San Francisco, he's 19-5. Okay, so let's take out the games that he started in New England. Okay, I mean he's 19-5. He's 19-5 in his career in San Francisco. Cool with me, but that doesn't mean that he's special. It means that the situation that he's been in has been virtually perfect. Coach, receivers, running back, offensive line, defense, everything. Okay. I criticize Jimmy Garoppolo the same way I criticize Dak, okay? Same way I criticize Jared Goff. All those other guys. He's not any different. Yeah, he's won a lot of games, but he's not perfect, okay? I can pick him apart a little bit on his deficiencies. I'm not saying that they matter. I'm saying that if he's got to make the play outside of the comfort zone, is it bad for me to have a little bit of skepticism on whether or not he can make it or not? I don't think I'm crazy for that. So, again, I don't think it's criticism of Jimmy G. I think we're just trying to be fair. Okay, let's go to the news. Big J journalist Matt Catarazzolo here in a Wii Sports Wednesday.
I forgot it was Wii Sports Wednesday.
It just doesn't feel. That's the problem.
It doesn't feel like it.
It doesn't feel the same because your buddy's not here.
I guess not. Wherever you are, Vin, miss you.
We're thinking of you.
He's not dead, by the way, to the listeners.
He's not dead.
He's
at Disney. He's fine.
He's just not here.
He's having a much better time than we are.
All right, so few interesting developments for the 2020 NFL Draft.
Ooh.
I don't know if you guys saw this, but the stage for the 2020 NFL Draft in Las Vegas will reportedly be on the water at the at the fountains of the Bellagio.
Really?
And this literally sounds like a joke, but the players will reportedly be transported to the stage by boat.
That's awesome.
Isn't that baller?
That's awesome. I want to get. Can I get drafted? That's awesome.
The red carpet stage for the players will be transported by boat. The main stage will be constructed next to the Caesars Forum. Located adjacent to the NFL Draft main stage, there will be the NFL Draft Experience, a 3-day football festival highlighted by interactive games, the Vince Lombardi Trophy, autograph sessions with NFL players and legends, brand activations, giveaways, and the NFL Shop.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
That is so wildly awesome. I want to go. Can we go?
This is all reported from Arash Markazi. He's a sports columnist for the LA Times.
Oh, yeah.
Really
cool. Arash Markazi is a really reliable source. Yeah,
really
absolutely.
Cool. Really cool stuff.
And the NFL is going again. It's the NFL's first year all around in Vegas. The draft in Vegas, Raiders going to Vegas, so they're going all out.
I want to go. I want to go. I want to go to Vegas for the draft in the worst way possible. Worst way. Not kidding. In the worst way.
If there's anyone to make your first NFL draft, this looks like a pretty good one to go to.
I mean, that's awesome.
It's just so cool.
By you get the stages on the water.
Joe Burrow's going to come in. Joe Burrow's going to come in on like a fan boat, speeding.
So the green room where all the players are. Like they're going to be like sitting outside the water, and then when
that's like what it looks like.
Let me see this.
Sorry, again, listeners, I'm just showing Mike a picture.
Oh my god, that is so wildly
Isn't that
cool.
sick?
That's all. Yo, I swear to God, I want to go. I'm going to go. I am going. I am going to the NFL draft. I'm doing it. I will buy the plane ticket. I will buy the hotel, and I will go to the NFL draft.
It's very cool. It looks sick. Honestly,
that is the coolest thing ever. Whew. Awesome. What's next?
So, this isn't really news, but it's just something cool that happened on this day. 14 years ago, Kobe Bryant scored 81 points against the Toronto Raptors.
Nah, who cares?
All right, dude.
I'm just kidding.
He went 28 for 46 field goals, 7 for 13 3-points.
Holy crow! An efficient shooting night from Kobe.
46 attempts, too. 46 shots from the floor.
28 of 46. That's, wow. Well, I mean, he took every shot. I mean, but 81 points, really impressive. It is really impressive.
Still
how many free throws did he have to take?
I don't know, dude.
God, isn't this your job?
You know what's funny is that when Clay had 70 or 71, remember, he didn't play the fourth quarter? Steve Kerr took him out.
Kobe had 20 free throw attempts that day. He was 18 to 20.
It's pretty good.
Wow, that sucks. 90%? Wow.
Imagine that's the one stat line he cared about that day.
That was terrible.
Probably stayed after free throws. I scored 81, but no, I missed 2 free throws.
Yeah, probably gave himself a concussion from the... God, I can't believe I missed it. I could have had 83.
All right, last one. And this is super interesting because it sheds some more light on people that are controversial Hall of Fame inductions. Or not inductions in this case. So this is a complete list of MLB players to ever steal 500 bases and hit 500 home runs.
Okay.
Barry Bonds. This is a complete list of Major League Baseball players to ever win 7 MVP awards.
Barry Bonds.
Barry Bonds. This is a complete list of Major League Baseball players to ever win more than 8 Silver Sluggers. Barry Bonds, who has 12. So
Barry Bonds has 12 Silver Sluggers?
Barry Bonds has 12 Silver Sluggers.
Jesus. I think I've seen Barry Bonds' numbers, and they are just out, like, they're off the charts. They are off the charts.
Listen,
some of the seasons that he's had.
They didn't start testing for PED. Major League Baseball didn't start testing for PEDs until 2003. Before that, Barry Bonds would have easily been a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Oh my God, yeah. Oh my God, but hey, listen. Bonds's vote total is going up every year. It's going up every year.
When does he become ineligible?
He retired in 2007, so he's 5 years after that's 2012. 2022, so he's got 2 more years left on the ballot. And he's close. I think he's at like 68 or 69% or something like that. He's close. But seriously, like, regardless of whether you think Bonds should be in the Hall of Fame, okay, when he won 4 straight MVPs with the Giants, I mean that 2001 season, 328, he hit 73 home runs, 137 RBIs. His on-base percentage was .515, 863 slugging, a 1379 OPS, 259 OPS plus. I mean, he's the all-time leader in home runs and walks. And intentional walks. Ridiculous. 7 MVPs. Like, that's the problem with Barry Bonds, though, is that a lot of his best years came after the steroids. It came after the performance enhancers. But even without the performance enhancers, Barry Bonds would have been a first ballot Hall of Famer no matter what.
But that's why I ask right there when I hear that, I say, why did you take it anyway?
Yeah, right.
If Bonds is a Hall of Famer anyway, with steroids or no steroids, why did he take it? That's always the one thing I always come back to. Why'd you do it anyway?
Did you 2004, Evan? He had 232 walks.
No, pitchers did not.
232.
Pitchers didn't want to pitch to him. That was how it was. Back
He
then.
had that year in 2004. He hit 362. His on-base percentage was 609.
His last year in the league, his 21st year in the league, he had 28 home runs.
He had 60% of the ballot yesterday. He only went up by 1 yesterday from the year before. He had 60%. He's got 2 years left on the ballot. If he doesn't,
He's got to make a big jump next year.
That's the thing.
He's got to make a big jump. He's got to get up to like 68 or 69 next year.
Again, I will always stand pat that I'm not going to vote him in. I wouldn't vote him in at all. You cheated. You took performance a hit. It's almost like this now.
How strict are you on that subject, Evan? I'm curious. So Clemens, no.
Nope. Bonds, no.
Sosa, no.
Nope.
McGuire, no.
Nope.
Andy Pettit, no. Who else? Who else? A-Rod.
A-Rod, no. A-Rod's going to be the other big one. Now, here's what's interesting. Bonds and Clemens, they're both, I think Clemens too, both their final years are 2022.
I think you're right.
The first year for Alex Rodriguez
is 2022.
It's 2022. So if they're if neither of them are in, Clemens and Bonds are in by then, which I think that could very well be the case, A-Rod ain't getting in. You might as well just take A-Rod off the ballot right now. He's not getting in at all. If Bonds or Clemens don't get in by 2022, again, their final years, and that's A-Rod's first year, you might as well take A-Rod off the ballot. He ain't getting in. Not even close. Because if they're not going to put Bonds and Clemens in, there's no way in heck that they're going to put Alex Rodriguez in.
Who's on the ballot next year?
Oh my gosh, I was seeing this. Torrey Hunter, I think, is on the ballot. Come on. I know Torrey Hunter is on the ballot.
2021, the potential whole, okay. So hang on.
I know Torrey Hunter is one of them.
So for 2021, Tim Hudson, Mark Burley, Torrey Hunter, Dan Herron, Barry Zito, Aramis Ramirez, Shane Victorino, Alex Rios. Let's see, Adam LaRoche, Rafael Soriano, C.J. Wilson, Dan Ugla, Nick Swisher, A.J. Burnett, Michael Kadire.
I think Torrey Hunter is the definite Hall of Famer. You could make a case, I get, for Burley, 5-time All-Star, won the World Series with the White Sox, 4-time Gold Glover. He's got a perfect game and a no-hitter on his belt. Only got 214 wins. You can make the case.
Is Torrey Hunter a Hall of Famer, though?
I think he's certainly.
I mean, he had a 19-year career, Evan.
5-time All-Star, 9-time
and he's only
Gold
been
Glover,
an All-Star 5 times.
But a 9-time Gold Glover, 2-time Silver Slugger. I think certainly Torrey Hunter is up there as a Hall of Famer. I vote him in. Torrey Hunter was a great defensive player. Good hitter too. Real good hitter too.
No doubt about that.
He was a fantastic.
There's nobody in this. There's nobody in this class that stands out to me. Nobody really in this class that stands out. Not really, truthfully. I mean, it's just, there's not... no, I don't see it. Sorry. I don't know if there's anybody that I would take. As a first ballot, I'm not sure there's anybody I would take. Not one. Torrey Hunter was a solid player. Burley could make a case, but other than that, I don't really know. Barry Zito's not getting in.
Well, Zito, he's not a Hall of Famer.
Could Tim Hudson get in?
I mean,
Tim Hudson had a 3.49 career ERA.
Tim Hudson has...
He has 222 wins.
4-time All-Star, World Series champ, comeback player of the year, led the league in wins.
Never won a Cy Young. He's a full-time All-Star, so maybe not.
Maybe not. He's got 222 wins to boot, 3.49 ERA, 4-time All-Star. I think just like Burley, Hudson's a guy who can make a case. Hudson, I could see missing. But you could certainly make the case just like Burley. I think he's in the Burley category where you can make the case. He's got more wins than Burley.
I'll tell you who's getting in next year. Kurt Schilling is going to get in next year. Kurt Schilling is going to get in.
I think Omar Vizquel, too. Omar Vizquel only got, 52% of the
It'll
vote
be his ninth year on the ballot. Kurt Schilling.
Vizquel, I know, got 52%. I'm curious to see how far he jumps next year.
Well, we'll see. All right, that's the news. Big J journalist Matt Catarazzolo here on a Wednesday. All right, best conversation in sports media coming up next. Barrington Grant, U.S. Sports Pages. That's next on the Haystack and the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
You're listening to the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. Worldwide Sports Radio presents the Haystack Show with Mike Guido.
Hour 2, here we go. Haystack, Worldwide Sports Radio Network. Mike Guido, Evan Mazza, my producer, Matt Catarazzolo, Big J journalist. Great to have you here with us on a Wednesday. Before we get to Barrington Grant, Evan, who do we have on the phone?
We have Lenny from Long Island. Lenny, you're online, buddy.
Hey,
how you doing?
You guys are fantastic. So I listen. That's why you're fantastic. But I want to talk about. I'm going to tell you why Derek Jeter was not a unanimous vote for the Hall of Fame, and it had nothing to do with his credentials. Okay, nothing to do. He certainly is a Hall of Famer, but there are many writers who, over the years, have taken the position that first ballot should be something special, especially with the Hall of Fame being watered down by the Mazeroski years ago and Harold Baines and players like that. The first ballot should be something special for Ruth, for Gehrig, for those kind of guys. Okay,
right.
So here's what happens. Okay, that has continued in some writers' minds, especially 100% unanimous. The baseball writers cannot have their votes exposed until the end of the filing period. And here's why. When you see enough votes and you know that Derek Jeter is in the Hall of Fame, it would only take one guy to say, well, I know he belongs in, and I know he's getting in. I could see the votes. So I'm going to make the statement that he should not be unanimous if Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, and Hank Aaron, if all those guys didn't get in. I think that they have to change the way they do it. Do not expose the votes until all the votes are in, and that's why Jeter did not get unanimous.
Well, okay, so I pretty much agree with everything that you just said. Because
goodbye. Then you don't need me anymore.
I pretty much agree with everything that you just said, right? Because the only way that I could find it even relatively justifiable is if the guy that didn't vote for Derek Jeter submitted a blank ballot. Like, that's the only way that I could see. Because Lenny, you saw the ballot. You saw the names on the ballot. I mean, I don't think that there was anybody on the ballot more deserving than Derek Jeter, right?
Oh, I definitely think he should be in there.
Oh, yeah, not a question of whether he should be in. It's whether he should be unanimous.
I don't think he should be unanimous.
You don't think he should be?
The Hall of Fame should be nothing more than a museum identifying the history of Major League Baseball in detail. And when 23 voters out of 432 didn't vote for Willie Mays in his first year, 9 out of 415 didn't vote for Hank Aaron, Ken Griffey missed out by 3 guys, Babe Ruth had a lower percentage of votes. You hear what I'm saying?
I understand that, but wouldn't you agree that it would be better if we just kind of acknowledge the fact that those guys should have been unanimous Hall of Famers? Because you're right. You're saying that it's something special, and I agree with you. The first ballot should be something special. Okay,
right.
If that means that only one player in the history of Major League Baseball got in unanimously, it was Mariano Rivera last year, right?
Right.
That doesn't mean Mariano Rivera is the greatest player in baseball history. It just that's the way that the cookie crumbled. That's my deal. Is that Mariano's not better than Babe Ruth? He's not better than Ted Williams.
I don't agree with Mariano either. But the point is that if you want to, there are many people say the Hall of Fame is now watered down, and you could say that, fine. It should be a museum identifying the history of Major League Baseball,
Yeah.
the pluses, the Pete Rose, and everything else. But here's the other thing now. If you don't expose the writers' ballots, then you run the risk of too many guys saying, I don't want Jeter to be number one. And then, you know what could happen with a capital C? Jeter doesn't get into the Hall of Fame because people didn't want him to be unanimous. So I just think they should keep it to themselves until after the deadline for filing, and so be it. So it's no big deal, no question. Jeter belongs in the Hall of Fame. And you can't take, many people also, here's what they're doing. They're taking away the fact that Larry Walker played at Coors Field. And at the same time, there are some that are saying if Derek Jeter wasn't a Yankee, that he wouldn't have piled up all those postseason stats. But you can't do that. Jeter was a Yankee. He did what he had to do. And Larry Walker did the same thing. So
I agree.
All right, keep up the good work, guys. Get to what you were going to talk about. I didn't mean to interrupt you. And I'll call with another controversy some other time.
Appreciate it, Letty. Thanks so much. All right. So now as we shift, let's go to the most interesting conversation in sports media. Barrington Grant, U.S. Sports Pages. Hey, Barry.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm here.
Are you ready to take your beating?
Listen, I've taken a beating over the weekend with this sickness. My son has given me the flu.
Oh,
so
excellent.
If you're gonna give me more of a beating, hey, it's all right. I expect it. I was
gonna say you kind of sound like Monica in Friends when she got sick. I'm fine. But all right. So before we get into NFL anything, and before I get into ripping you, right? So I know you're a baseball guy, just like I am. Derek Jeter gets voted into the Hall of Fame along with Larry Walker. I think both of them are both very well deserved. And I'm not usually a guy that complains about the percentage of votes that you get. I'm normally not the guy to do that. If you get in, you get in. Great accomplishment. Really doesn't matter what percentage you get, whatever. Okay. But Derek Jeter missed the unanimous vote by one vote. Okay. What could possibly be the reason for not voting in Derek Jeter unanimously?
It's one simple thing. It's baseball's hypocrisy. They have to give you a rub because they believe they can. There's no explanation. Like there's nothing that you're gonna hear, or whatever analysts come out with whatever statistics, or he doesn't rank here. As soon as Derek Jeter was called up for the Yankees, and you saw him take his first 50 professional at bats, you knew that this kid was special. The way he held himself, the maturity level that he had, how he spoke, how he led. He was the captain of the Yankees for 10 plus years. That only happened when? I think he was the only person to ever hold it that long, right?
I think he was longest tenured. Yeah.
Yeah. All of these things that he's done shows you that he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. But they just want to tell you that no, we don't think that anybody should be unanimous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Baseball has their own. I don't even know what to call it. It's their own rules. It doesn't make sense to anybody else but them.
Now,
here's
the problem with this, right? Because I think that the writers, we don't know who the writer is. We don't know who the writer is that didn't vote him in. And I'm not sure that we'll ever know. But through the power of social media, it is very possible that we're just going to find out anyway. Here's the thing, though. I think that I can sit behind this desk, and a lot of sports media personalities and a lot of journalists and all these writers and whatever, we can all sit behind a desk or sit behind a computer and rip athletes. Okay, I sit here and I rip Odell. I sit here and I rip Baker Mayfield. I rip Antonio Brown. Okay, and primarily it's mostly for the same reason. It's because it seems like in different fashions they all want to draw the attention to themselves, right? it feels like when an MLB Hall of Fame voter does this, it seems very, all right, you're the one guy that didn't vote for Derek Jeter. Now you're just asking for attention. Is there some hypocrisy there, do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I think the allure of having people talk about what you did matters to some people, right? Like, what are we talking about here today? We're not talking about how great Derek Jeter's career was, how he's now in the Hall of Fame. We're talking about this one vote that did not make him a unanimous, entry into the Hall of Fame.
Right.
So that guy, whoever he is, accomplished his goal. This is now a talking point for the next month or so.
Yeah.
Maybe longer. Who knows?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's sad that this is what we have to contend with year in and year out with this ballot. It's just, I'm really sick of it. Guys like Larry Walker, it shouldn't have took him this long to get in, and now, Derek Jeter's in now, and now we're talking about that he's not unanimous. It's just, baseball has to try to figure this out. It's, it's getting ridiculous now. It really is.
Well, listen, like I said, I'm not usually the guy that cares about the percentage, but this just seems a little bit ridiculous. All right, so
I agree with you, man.
Let's shift to the NFL. Okay, so your Packers, God, Barry, they took a beating. My God. I mean, if I could only find the words to describe how the Packers just got, dismantled by the 49ers, I don't know if I can. But in all seriousness, the 49ers, it looks like they're proving to everybody that they were the best team in the NFC all year long, right? It wasn't New Orleans. It wasn't Green Bay. It wasn't whoever else. It wasn't Seattle. It was the 49ers. They were going off. What about them do you think gives them a chance to win the Super Bowl, and what are the things that you liked about them going forward?
The 49ers, that defensive line scares people, and you saw it firsthand in San Francisco against the Packers. How many false starts and how many, it was so funny just to see the fear of these offensive linemen's faces, that they were like, listen, we don't know what to do at this point. Anybody makes a little jump, we have to. There was just fear there. You saw the frustration in Aaron Rodgers' face because, okay, cool, they're making progress up the field, they're making strides, and then the ball comes out. It's not Aaron Rodgers' fault. It's the fact that the line got intimidated. And that's what the San Francisco 49ers do to you. They intimidate you. They intimidate you to the point where it takes you out of your game. And it's amazing to watch. It really is.
Now, I don't think I'm being overly critical about Jimmy Garoppolo when I say that, I am a little skeptical if he is forced to make the big play. I'm not taking anything away from him. It's just the situation he's in, he doesn't need to make the big play. He's never been asked to do it. So I don't think that people are being overly critical about Jimmy G. I think people are just a little bit skeptical. Do you think that Jimmy Garoppolo is getting disrespected in a way by the public?
Disrespected that's a big word. I don't know if disrespected is the right word. I just think that overlooked, or just they're not really respecting his his achievements or lack thereof. Like, when we think about Jimmy G, right? You can kind of compare it to Tom Brady when the Patriots were coming up. That defense was solid. Those first couple seasons in New England that defense was scary, right?
Right.
And all Tom Brady had to do was manage the game. Not make mistakes, not turn the ball over, and make plays when he needed to make plays. Isn't that what Jimmy G did on Saturday? when they needed throws to be made, he made them. You know, when Green Bay scored 20 points and they came back in the game, okay, Jimmy G said, "Listen, we gotta get some first downs. We gotta throw the ball a little bit." He executed and made those plays. So I don't see the difference between Tom year 1, year 2, and Jimmy than what I'm seeing in Jimmy G right now. So, you know, if people want to say disrespected, you know, if you want to say he's being disrespected, okay, but I see the same similarities between one of the greatest quarterbacks, if not the greatest quarterback in history, and Jimmy G right now, is that he's doing what he's asked to do. He's not doing anything more than that.
Right. So now let's shift over to Green Bay because, listen, there's no question that Aaron Rodgers is great, right? There's no question that he's got the accolades. He's as talented maybe as we've ever seen a quarterback be, maybe up until we discovered Patrick Mahomes. But the Aaron Rodgers is perfectly great. The issue with Green Bay, could you point it out to me? What's their hole? What's holding them back?
Weapons.
Well, that was pretty easy.
Weapons. They have one receiver. You know, Jimmy Graham is no longer an effective tight end. Let's just be honest. Mm-hmm. He can be effective maybe every fourth game, but you need somebody who is a difference maker. They don't have that. When you have a guy like Devontae Adams, great receiver, but he needs somebody else. They have a good running game. It's pretty decent, but they need more weapons on the outside. Aaron Rodgers, if he gets more weapons on the outside, then I think offensively you'll see them become more creative. I think Matt LaFleur, I think he's a good coach, good young coach. But if he has more weapons, I think that offense will go to a next level. And you just saw the difference. When Aaron needed to make a throw, you know, he went to Devontae. But when that wasn't there, where else are you going?
Right.
And that was the whole story of the game for me, is that he just had nowhere to go with football.
So I made this point earlier in the week. If you're San Francisco, okay, this was a story that kind of got buried. Okay, 2005 NFL draft, right? Mike McCarthy is a coach over there in San Francisco, and the 49ers don't draft Aaron Rodgers. They draft Alex Smith at number 1 overall instead. Aaron falls all the way to 24, carries the chip on his shoulder. Here's the thing that I'm wary about. Okay, in the 15 years since then, we know that Aaron Rodgers is great. We know that he's better than any other quarterback that San Francisco has had since then. Okay, he's Alex Smith, Colin Kaepernick, Jimmy Garoppolo. He's better than all of them. But San Francisco goes into Super Bowl Sunday. They've made one more Super Bowl appearance. Now, Aaron Rodgers has won one, but if San Francisco wins the Super Bowl on Super Bowl Sunday, can I make the argument that San Francisco doesn't regret not taking Aaron Rodgers?
Even if they lose the Super Bowl, I don't think that you regret it. You know, they've bounced back very incredibly well from the time, you know, from the Harbaugh era that they had, which was extremely special, to taking a little hiatus and then rebounding right back to with this scary defense. I don't see how you can regret it, because who knows if Aaron Rodgers would have been a 49er if they would have ever got to a Super Bowl. You know, it's all revisionist history. We can all speak about it because that's what we do. We're geeks like that, to have to speak about things that don't exist. That's our job, right?
Right.
But we don't know what would happen. So I don't think either franchise regrets what they did. You know, they did what they felt was right in that time, and you know that's it.
All right, so let's shift to the AFC side, right? So I mean, this was the game wasn't particularly close. I know that Tennessee got out early, but Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, they've got this thing going on where the past 2 weeks they're able to come back from double-digit deficits and then proceed to not really give anybody a chance to get back. How confident are you in Kansas City today?
They are a fine machine right now. They are a well-oiled machine that if anybody can beat the 49ers, it's this team. Will they? I can't say yes or no because that defense is scary. You've seen defenses come along
right
over the years, and you're like, man, this is close to unbeatable. They're on that level. They're on that level. And but if there's any quarterback, if there's any coach combination that can figure it out, especially with those weapons on the outside, because here's what we're going to see here now, right? We're going to see a tale of two different scenarios with two different quarterbacks. There was one quarterback in Aaron Rodgers who didn't have the weapons to compete against the San Francisco team, right?
Okay.
But now we're going to have another quarterback that does have the weapons to compete with the San Francisco team on the outside. So we're going to see exactly what San Francisco is made of on the defensive end, but we're also going to see if Patrick Mahomes can get past that staunch defensive line and stay in the pocket, deliver some really great throws, and maybe take the top off the defense. We'll see. But it's going to be really, really interesting to watch. That's what I want to see.
What's the do you think that there is – because here's the thing about Andy Reid, right? So Andy Reid there's no question that he's a great coach, but his criticism was always he could never win the big one. He could never win the big game when it mattered. And the argument against that is, well, he's gone up against special quarterbacks, and he hasn't had a special quarterback. He's had Jeff Garcia. He's had Donovan McNabb. He's had Alex Smith. He hasn't had the special at quarterback. Okay, well,
right.
Now he does. Do you think that the criticism with Andy, this is kind of a two-parter, do you think the criticism with Andy Reid is fair up to this point? And do you think that if this Super Bowl, there are no excuses for Andy Reid anymore?
Yeah, I think the criticism is warranted. If you don't win, you're going to get criticized. It doesn't matter what the situation is, what he didn't have or what he went up against. You don't win, you're going to get criticized. This one, I think that yes, if he does lose this, it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough for him to rebound from this one in regards to historically. Obviously, there's going to be another season. They'll get back to the drawing board, but he needs this. He needs this to really solidify a marvelous career. In regards to how he teaches the game, his special offenses, the coaches that have blossomed under him. He needs this. He needs this to kind of just like solidify all that he's done.
All right, so we'll see. All right,
yeah.
Last thing, Barry. We got Super Bowl 49ers, Chiefs. Chiefs are favored by 1.5 in Miami. Who do you like?
Here's the thing.
You had to know this was coming.
When have we ever seen a team beat a great defense in a Super Bowl?
Okay, that's a solid point. It's
hard to pick against the 49ers. I'm sorry. Because great defenses win you Super Bowls. It really does. As great as an offense, I've seen the Patriots shut down the greatest game on turf with the Rams, right?
Right.
I've seen the Giants shut down the Patriots. So the list goes on. Great defenses stop great offenses every time. So I got 49ers.
Look at last year, too, with the Patriots and the Rams.
Yeah.
So there we go. You're on the 49ers. I'll be honest with you. I haven't made my Super Bowl pick yet, and part of the reason is because I really don't know. I'm very.
You just want to pick against me. That's all it is.
No, that is not.
You're gonna pick the Chiefs. You're gonna pick the Chiefs, and then if the Chiefs win, you're just gonna let me have it. Okay?
No, I wouldn't.
I am not gonna come to your house because I don't want to hear it.
No.
I'm gonna make an excuse.
Hey,
come to
listen,
Super Bowl party.
listen. I'll say this. Listen, if you don't have the flu, you better be at my house on Super Bowl Sunday. If you ain't at my house, then you're gonna hear it. Okay, forget about me picking against you. You're gonna hear it if you're not at my house eating Taco Bell. I'm telling you right now. All right, Barrington Gray, U.S. Sports Pages, buddy. It's always fun. Thanks for coming on, man.
All right, I'll talk to you.
All right, Barrington Gray, U.S. Sports Pages. All right, before we go to break, I do want to break a little bit of news. I'm pretty sure Evan has already seen it.
I was waiting till you were done.
Yeah. So you're the news person. You want to break it?
The Mets have officially named Luis Rojas their manager. They're finalizing a multi-year deal to promote him from their quality control coach to their manager as Carlos Beltran's replacement.
Okay,
so
I see it now.
Luis Rojas is now being hired by the Mets to be their new manager after firing Carlos Beltran. What do you think, Ev? Before, just a little quick because we got to go to break. But
right.
How do you feel?
I like it. He's liked well in the Mets. He's liked in house. This was obviously this is something that this managerial process came out of the blue. They pretty much had to, they had to let go of Beltran, did everything that was going on, did everything with the stealing signs, cheating thing going on. This was a last minute thing. I like Rojas. He's well liked around the Mets. He's well liked around the players you keep in house. Again, would I have liked Dusty?
Did they even interview anybody else? Because this kind of felt like it was just going to happen.
They interviewed everyone from the inside, from Mullins to Rojas.
Hensley Mullins.
Hensley Mullins to Rojas. No one really from the outside. No Dusty, no Showalter, no John Gibbons. Again, would I have liked those guys as management team? Absolutely. But again, I think this is a good hire. I think he's well liked around the team. And I like the fact that they got this done. It's done now. You don't have to. And
I'm glad the Mets were able to hire their manager first.
Yeah, exactly. They hired their guy and they got their manager.
Nobody got swept from under him. I like that.
What's also pretty good for the Mets is they were
except for maybe Girardi.
They were the last. Yeah, they were the listen, hey, that was everyone's first choice, right? With the Mets with Joe Girardi, that was everyone's first choice.
Oh yeah.
But I like the fact how while they were the last team to make a decision on their manager out of the Astros and Red Sox, they were the first to get a manager. It's done. It's over. They got a guy who they like. They got a guy who the players like.
Now you go into spring training.
Go into spring training.
Pitchers and catchers report in a few weeks.
Go into spring training.
Go into spring training and
let's get started.
Go to work.
Let's get a roller. Let's get the.
They're finally moving on from a scandal that they had nothing to do with.
Yeah, seriously. Just get out from underneath.
Yeah.
More Haystack next.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. Worldwide Sports Radio presents the Haystack Show with Mike Guido.
Here we go. Hour number 3. Great to have you back on the Haystack and the Worldwide Sports Radio Network, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, WorldwideSportsRadio.com. Mike Guido, Evan Mazza, my producer, Matt Catarizzolo, Big J journalist. Great to have you in. All right, so I want to do something that we haven't done in a while. Evan, what are we playing?
We're going to play Nab the Stat.
Laptop's down.
So wait,
all
right,
Laptop's down.
Okay, no problem. But okay, so
usually with Nab the Stat, I just go by the current NBA, right now the current NBA season, the past NFL, Major League Baseball season. But because Maddie was going crazy
all
with sports
time,
trivia yesterday, going all time sports, leading receivers, leading rushing yards all time, strikeout leaders. I'm going to do the same thing. So I'll go to the NFL.
So you didn't even do the introduction of it. It's time to play.
Again, we haven't played the game in so long.
I know.
It's time to play Nab the Stat. Yeah.
We didn't even use a drop for it. Nab the Stat.
Yeah.
Do we have to add
Thank you. It's good to see you.
Thank you.
Do we have that? Okay, I was going to say, do we have a sound?
There we
Gotta
go.
have sound.
I wish we had like a. I wish we at least had like a,
Just get like the Price is Right music going.
Yeah, seriously. Well, that's Family Feud.
What is that? That's Family Feud, right? Got it. Family Feud music.
Welcome to Family Feud. I'm Steve Harvey. I love Steve Harvey. He's great.
Could get the Jeopardy music.
No. Who
watched the Jeopardy goat?
It wasn't even close.
It wasn't even
Ken
close.
Jennings
Ken
was-
Jennings is an encyclopedia.
I mean, that's my God.
Ken Jennings was.
I know, like
He's a machine.
Jeopardy James won one episode,
Yes,
and that was it. Brad Rutter, I don't think made $1. Like,
Brad Rutter was just just happy to be there.
yeah, the real GOAT thing was between Ken Jennings and James Holzhauer.
Right.
Like, those were the two.
That's what it ended up being.
I mean, but Ken Jennings, like, I mean, he blew everybody. It wasn't even close.
Love Ken
Was
Jennings.
not even close.
He's the man.
I was surprised. I thought it would be like a close series between him and James. I kind of figured, but yeah, Jennings just dominated.
Jennings just ran away with it.
Dominated.
Ran away with it. Not even close.
There we go. Let's nab some stats, dude.
Let's nab some stats. Okay, so we're going to start with the NFL season. First up, who led the NFL in tackles this year?
Who led the NFL in tackles this year?
Was it Luke Kuechly?
No,
Nope.
I'm gonna say. I want to say Bobby Wagner.
That is correct. Get applause.
Are we keeping score? Is there any way we're keeping score?
I will keep score on my phone. So right now, so far
1-0
in the
Matt.
stat, Matty leads 1-0. Let me just
Oh,
update
yeah.
that score.
Would that be baller though if Luke Kuechly led the league in tackles and then just retired?
I know.
You know what? I'm done with this. You guys can
Baller.
have
Okay,
it. Mic drop.
next up.
I'm done. I'm bored.
This is easy. I'm
Back to the NFL.
gonna go hunt bears in Siberia.
That's right.
Who was second in the NFL in sacks this year? Second.
Shaq Barrett.
I said second. He was first. That
I
is
know who it is. I gotta give Matt a
wrong.
chance. I gotta give Matt a chance to guess.
Second in sacks.
For some reason, I didn't think Shaq Barrett led. I think I know who it is.
Was it T.J. Watt?
That is wrong.
All right.
Damn.
Chandler Jones.
That is correct.
Okay.
So,
Who was first?
That was the thing.
Was it
Shaq Barrett.
Shaq Barrett.
Shaq Barrett. But that's the thing. I thought it was switched. I thought Chandler Jones led in sacks, and Shaq Barrett was 2.
okay. So we all know that Jameis Winston led the NFL in touchdown passes.
Yes.
We all know that Lamar Jackson was second in the NFL in touchdown passes.
Wait. Start over. Say that again. Go ahead.
We all know that Jameis Winston led the NFL in touchdown passes this season.
Yeah.
And we also know that Lamar Jackson was second in the NFL in touchdown passes this season. Who was third?
Was it Russell Wilson?
That is...
It's what?
Is it?
It's what?
It is what?
It's what?
Yo, cliffhanger. Oh, it's correct.
That's actually correct.
All right, so Russell Wilson got it. I thought Lamar Jackson led. Doesn't Lamar Jackson lead the NFL in touchdown passes?
No.
He had 36.
Oh, it was. Oh, you're right. It was. It was Winston. Winston was. I thought Winston was first. You're right. Lamar was first. Winston was.
Winston
second.
was second,
Winston
but
was
then
Russell was still third?
Russell was still third.
Okay.
Yes.
Dak was fourth with 30.
That would have been my guess. Was Dak?
Right. I got them mixed up. Yeah, Lamar was first. Lamar had 36. Yes.
Nice.
Okay. All right. Who was second in the NFL in passing yards this year? Matt, you're
Dak Prescott.
What's up?
Dak Prescott.
You are right.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, too.
Let's get a little round of applause for Mike. All right, entitled.
Let's go!
All right, let's go!
Give me another one. Give me another one.
All right, chill. Number 2, we're going to Major League Baseball, the 2019 MLB season.
Okay.
Who led the American League in RBIs in 2019?
Nelson Cruz. Oh, I
The,
thought I had that.
the American League in RBIs. The American League in RBIs.
Oh.
I don't think any of you guys are going to get this.
Oh.
I have a weird idea. But
Go for it.
I have a weird idea, but I don't want to say it. Because if Heaven's like it, none of you are going to get it.
I don't think any of you guys are going to get this one. I'm surprised.
RBIs. I feel like I know this.
American League RBIs.
American League RBIs.
God, I feel like I know this. Like I really do.
Do you guys want me to give you a clue, a hint?
No. You gotta let Matt guess
No.
first.
We're tied at 2.
Damn it. I mean, was it DJ LeMahieu? Yeah,
No.
I didn't think so.
Can you narrow it down by division?
AL Central.
Oh, ooh, okay.
So that's...
Oh, I have a weird guess. Am I gonna? Is that right though?
Oh, I have a weird guess too.
Is it Carlos Santana?
Nope.
Damn, Santana had a great year.
Oh my god, dude, hold on, wait. The guy. Who is it? Dude, the guy. Well, I don't want to say it because like.
I'm not getting the countdown now.
AL Central.
His name is escaping me. Dude.
Matt. You want me to give you another hint? Let me give you guys one more hint.
Sure.
He signed a contract extension this year.
Signed a contract extension this year.
This offseason.
Is it Jose Abreu?
It is Jose Abreu!
Wow. Really?
That's not even who I was gonna guess either.
Jose Abreu led the AL with 123 RBIs in 2019. So,
Wow.
who was second?
Jorge
in the AL
Soler.
RBIs?
Soler. That's what I was gonna guess.
Eh.
I was gonna guess him. Well, that's
Oh,
no,
you're
that's
right.
not my
Actually,
answer.
you know what?
That's
You know
not my-
what? You know what?
That's not my answer. But that's who.
Oh, okay. Actually, you know what? Maddie, you're not wrong because they were tied. Jorge Soler had 117 RBIs with this man, who was the other one,
All right, wait. Well, I'm sorry. What was the question?
who was second in the AL in RBIs. You actually got, there's 2 of them. You got one right, Jorge Soler. There's one more.
All right, go for it, Mike.
Matt leads 3-2. If Mike gets this, then it will offset this question.
Is it Nelson Cruz?
It is not Nelson Cruz.
God, why?
So,
Nelson Cruz.
tied for
Nelson
second?
Cruz is going to be the death of me.
Nelson Cruz was 7th in the AL this year in RBIs
Damn it.
with 108.
So, who's tied with Jorge Soler for
In RBIs.
second in the
RBIs.
AL with RBIs with 117?
Yes.
Still AL Central?
Actually, you guys' division, the AL East.
Oh,
That's the only hint I'll give you.
I think I know who it is.
Right?
I think I know who it is.
To offset the question.
I do think. Oh my God, it is right. I know. I feel like I know who it is.
Is it JD Martinez?
Nope.
It's one of 2 guys, and I don't know which one to pick. It's one of 2 guys, and it's killing me.
I feel like, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go with that. Is it Xander Bogaerts?
Actually, no, you're right.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
You were right. It was Xander.
It was Xander Bogaerts.
I hit the
All right.
buzzer button. My bad. You're right.
All right, so are we tied 3-3? Or is it just offset? Am I still up by 1?
I'm offsetting it.
So I'm still up by 1?
So we both
You're still by
held. We
1.
both held on the play.
Yes. Both held on the play. All right.
Those
this
penalties
one,
offset.
This one is to see who gets it first. Who led the National League in home runs this year?
Pete Alonso.
Damn it. You said it too fast, Evan. I got nervous.
Okay, we're staying in baseball. Who was second in the American League this year in batting average?
DJ LeMahieu.
That is the correct answer.
Slow down, Evan.
Slow down!
Who was first in the American League in batting average this season?
Oh, I think I know who it is.
First in the American League.
I'll
in
let you
batting
guess
average.
first, but I think I know who it is.
So DJ was second, and I think he was what? I think he was like 310, 311 ish,
Didn't he hit like 320?
something like that.
LeMahieu?
Give me the division, Ev.
AL Central.
Oh, I know who it is. I got it.
Francisco Lindor.
No, it is not Francisco Lindor.
I'm going to guess Jorge Polanco.
It is not Jorge Polanco.
Damn it. I was like certain that it was Jorge Polanco. Oh, boy. Okay. First in batting average, he's in the AL Central.
The AL Central is Cleveland.
Cleveland, Minnesota, Chicago, Kansas City, and Detroit. All right, it's not anybody on Detroit. Detroit's terrible.
It's not anybody on the Tigers.
I would be very hard-pressed to believe it's anybody from the Royals.
It's not Jorge Soler, right?
It's not
No,
Jorge.
Soler hit like 230, but
Yeah.
hit 50 home runs.
Wow.
God, you know... Oh! Is it Tim Anderson?
It is Tim Anderson.
That was a good guess.
Just letting everybody know, too, because Tim Anderson's been a pretty big prospect for a long time, and he's coming into his own. Tim Anderson is going to be very good in this league. Very good.
All right, Mike has a 5-3 lead. We're on to the NBA. Who leads the NBA in rebounds this year?
Andre Drummond.
That is correct. Staying in the NBA.
Was that rebound, like total rebounds or rebounds per game?
Per game.
Probably leads in both.
He probably does lead in both.
Who is second in the NBA rebounds per game after Andre Drummond?
Rebounds per game now.
I'll let you go first, Matt.
This is rebounds per game now?
Yes.
Clint Capella.
That is incorrect.
Damn it.
That was a good guess, though.
That's what I thought.
Clint Capella.
That was a good
Clint
guess.
Capella's actually third with 14.2.
Oh wow,
Oh.
Capella's third.
Damn it.
With 14.2.
So it's Drummond, someone, and then Capella.
Is it? Oh my God. Is it Rudy Gobert?
Mike is pulling away. That's correct.
Wow.
That's a good one.
7-3, Mr. Mike Guido. Let me just tally this up. On to the next one.
That's the point. The host is supposed to be a smart one.
You know that usually, you know.
I'm actually pretty bad at this
You're
normally.
very bad at this one. Okay. Who is fifth in the NBA in assists per game?
Fifth in the NBA.
Fifth in the NBA in
assists per
assists per game.
I'm going to take a wild guess and say Kyle Lowry.
That is incorrect.
Fifth. That's tough. Because LeBron's leading.
He is leading.
LeBron's leading the league.
With 11. Averaging 11 assists per game.
Westbrook's probably second.
Actually, he's not. That'd be Ricky Rubio.
Ricky Rubio is second.
Wow. Ooh, Ricky Rubio is second, huh?
Yeah.
That would have been a good one. You should have done that one.
All right, Westbrook has to be third then.
He's not. That's not it. Nope. That's Luka Doncic.
Dude! Is Westbrook fifth?
Nope.
Damn it.
Russell Westbrook in assists per game is 11th.
Oh my
Funny
God.
enough, his teammate James Harden is 10th.
Damn.
Fifth. Huh.
Fifth.
I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say Nikola Jokic.
That would be incorrect.
That was not a bad guess at all.
What's the number? Like, what's the stat?
8.5.
8.5. Okay.
8.5 assists per game.
Huh. Words cannot describe how much I love this game.
Is it hard, Ed? Like, are we going to be like, whoa?
I don't think so.
Oh, wow.
He does play the point guard position.
Is it Derrick Rose?
That would be incorrect.
I kind of have a feeling, weird suspicion. Is it Chris Paul?
That would be incorrect.
Wow. CP3's having a really good year this year.
He does play the point guard position.
He's a point guard,
I feel
so
like that's a hint.
that is definitely a hint.
It is definitely a hint. Is it Lou Williams?
That would be incorrect.
Lou Williams doesn't play point guard. Lou Williams is a 2 guard.
Oh.
Actually, he's also a forward, too, this guy. Point guard forward.
Ben Simmons.
That would be correct.
That was a monster hint, Evan.
You
gave it to Mike.
Don't count that one because
That's
you literally gave that to me.
Not fair.
I was giving
You gave it to me, but I had the next guess, so don't count that one.
Saboteur.
That was a good one. Ben Simmons.
Saboteur.
I was giving it to both you guys. I'm not really keeping track of who's going. You guys are going to jump up and say the answer. Say the answer.
Ben Simmons was going to be one of my guesses down the line. I don't know if he was my next guess though, until you said that.
All right, let's go to the NFL all-time leaders ever. So ever. This is all-time.
Okay.
Who is the all-time NFL leader in rushing attempts?
NFL leader. NFL the
In
entire
rushing
league.
attempts.
Rushing attempts in history. NFL history. The all-time NFL leader in rushing attempts.
Jim Brown.
That would be incorrect.
That was a really good guess. Is it Emmitt Smith?
That would be correct.
Wow.
Finally.
Damn.
Oh my God.
I just lost my own guy.
It's my first point. in
Emmett-
like 7 rounds.
Emmett Smith. Well, because I know he leads in rushing yards. I didn't know he led in attempts.
I just put 2 and 2 together.
You are not. I'll tell you what, Mike, Mr. Guido, you are. I said not a real Cowboy fan.
Well, because I was thinking old football. Old football was all about running. I'm like, Jim Brown's got to be up there. Like, he probably carried the ball 50 times a
If
game.
Emmitt Smith was wrong, I would have probably said Jim Brown.
You are not getting a piece of the pie, Mike.
God, and Emmitt Smith. I was as soon as I said Jim Brown, I'm just like, it's gonna be Emmitt Smith. Like, it is gonna be Emmitt Smith.
It has to be Emmitt Smith.
All right, next question. Who is third in the NFL in rushing attempts? In all-time ever in rushing attempts.
Walter Payton.
That would be incorrect. He is second.
Oh! I feel like I know who third is then.
It's not Barry. Barry played for too short.
Barry Sanders is seventh in rushing attempts.
Yeah,
Wow.
so it's not Barry.
Emmitt, Walter Payton.
I'm gonna go. All right, I'm gonna go a little bit out on a limb. I'm gonna say Eric Dickerson.
That would be incorrect.
Marshall Falk.
That would be incorrect.
That's a good guess. That was a good guess.
Dickerson is 11th, and who was the one you said, buddy?
Marshall Falk.
Marshall Falk.
Marshall Falk is 17th.
Oh, wow.
This is not going to be right, I don't think, but LaDainian Tomlinson.
That would be incorrect. He's 6th.
Damn.
This is third all-time rushing attempts.
Third all-time
Yes.
rushing attempts.
Yep.
Frank Gore.
That would be correct.
That was a good guess. That was dynamite.
Guy's been playing for 25 years.
Yeah, Frank Gore. You got it. Yeah, Frank Gore. That was a great guess.
I don't want to give you guys a hint for that one because I knew you guys would get it as soon as I give you a hint.
Yeah, Frank
All right,
Gore was a good one.
Here we go. Fourth quarter comebacks. Who is the all-time leader in fourth quarter comebacks?
A quarterback, you mean?
Yes, quarterback.
For quarterback.
Fourth quarter comebacks.
Is it Tom Brady?
That would be incorrect.
Tony Romo.
That would be no, incorrect.
Well, no. Hey, that's not a bad guess. Tony Romo has a lot of fourth quarter comebacks in his career.
Tony Romo is tied for 17th with 24 with Drew Bledsoe and Y.A. Tittle.
Good God. Never mind.
No, but of all the quarterbacks in NFL history, that's not bad for Tony Romo.
I mean, still.
Fourth quarter comebacks.
Number 1.
Peyton Manning.
That would be correct.
Never mind.
I actually thought that was going to be wrong. I just kind of threw that name out there, but yippee.
He's got 43.
Wow.
That's a lot.
Who is second?
All right, I'm going to throw this one out there, and I'm going to make it like this is so going to be wrong, but it would be such a cool story if this was actually a real thing. Is it Eli?
It's incorrect.
Is Eli top 10, Evan?
You want to know that one, don't you?
I do.
Eli is 13th. 27. He's tied.
All right.
He's funny enough tied for 13th with Phillip Rivers.
Oh, wow. All right, okay, third all-time, fourth quarter comeback.
Second all-time.
Second all-time, fourth quarter comeback. Is it Aaron Rodgers?
That would be incorrect. Aaron Rodgers. That's a good one. Let's see. He is... Oh, I got to go down for him.
Fourth quarter coming. I do have a guess.
Aaron Rodgers is tied for 54th.
Good.
Wow.
With 16. He's tied with McNabb, Andrew Luck, Mark Brunell, Rich Gannon,
Wow.
Ken Stabler, Jay Schroeder. He's actually tied for 54th in fourth quarter
crazy.
comebacks with 16. That's it.
Is it Kurt Warner?
That would be incorrect. Warner is...
Yeah, it's either Warner was really high or really low. I was taking a gamble on that one. Huh.
I don't know. I can't find him now.
So maybe he's just maybe he didn't. He never came back in the fourth quarter.
Tied for Vinny Testaverde is tied for 9th.
Is it Brett Favre?
No, but he is 11th.
Oh, man. This is hard. This is a hard stat.
Steve Young.
Nope, that'd be incorrect.
All right, give us a hint. Is he retired or still playing?
It's a big hint.
It doesn't have to be that hint. Just give us some sort of hint.
All right.
Was he a single-digit or double-digit jersey wearer?
Double-digit jersey.
Double-digit jersey.
That's the only hint I'll give you.
Double-digit jersey.
Double-digit jersey.
Joe Montana.
No, he's not. No.
Montana wore 14, so I was like, all right, that's.
Joe Montana.
Evans was like, no, what?
Idiot.
No.
Evan.
Joe Montana
Moron.
is 15th.
All right, so double-digit jersey. Double-digit jersey.
Second, all time in fourth quarter comebacks.
Oh, my God. Is he going to shock us?
It really shouldn't.
Oh, all right. All right.
I mean, I don't mean to sound like a know-it-all, but it really shouldn't. I can't believe you guys haven't said his name yet.
Yeah, know it all.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
I can't. All right, so it's. I guess it's got to be pretty obvious, like relatively obvious.
Okay.
Come on. Come on, Matt.
Like, dude, I mean, double-digit.
Let's go, Mike. Matt. Let's go, Matt.
I feel like whatever I say now is going to sound stupid. Like,
Right, exactly.
I don't know, Dan Marino?
No.
All right, you know what, dude?
No.
I don't.
all right, give me. All right.
Dan Marino was 5th.
All right, it was the closest guess so far.
Okay.
God.
I feel like I'm going to say his name, and you guys are going to say, oh, we already said it. Well, even though I'm pretty sure.
Evan, I swear to God, if we already said it and you're putting us through this, oh my God, I'm going to be angry. Oh my God, am I going to be angry?
I don't
That's
think any
gonna
of
be
you guys.
funny.
I don't think any. You guys. Okay. Here's
You don't
the
think?
Last hint. You guys said his name for the first one. When I asked you the question for the number 1 spot, you guys said his name. One of you guys said his name.
Evan, we definitely said his name for this one because we've named like every quarterback ever. Like,
I don't think
So wait, so it was for first and fourth quarter comebacks.
You guys said his name. I'm pretty sure you guys said his
First?
Eli?
What did we say? No, it's not Eli. It's definitely not Eli.
God. How many teams did he play for?
One!
Oh,
Is it
God.
Brady?
Yes, it's Tom Brady.
I said
We
Brady!
said Brady, Evan.
No, you didn't.
Yes, we did.
That was my first guess!
Wait, for the first? No, that was your first guess for
No.
the first one.
That was my first guess for this one.
No, that was your
Evan,
first
Evan.
guess for the first one.
No, Evan. No, Evan. It's
No,
just
my
Tom-
first guess for this one was Eli because it would have been a cool story for Peyton.
Mike got Peyton Manning, and then he said Brady for this one, and you just shut it down. You're like, nope. God, I want to smash you right in the head right now, Evan.
Dude, you said for the first one. I'll look back, but you guys said for the first one.
I could have sworn I said Brady.
No, you said for the first.
This show is
one.
recorded.
All right,
The
all
minute
right.
the minute it
I
ends, we're going
actually,
back to it.
now that I think about it, I think Evan was right.
You said for the first.
I think, yeah, Brady.
You said for the first, not for the first one.
All right, so Mike's up, what, 8-5?
It's 9-5.
9-5, damn.
Whatever.
Evan's so frustrated. It's
No,
like, whatever.
Whatever. Who leads the NBA in blocks per game?
Giannis?
No.
Gobert.
No.
Is it Gobert?
No. Blocks per game.
Oh, you know,
With 3.2. With 3.2.
I think I know who it is.
Blocks per game with 3.2.
Yeah, I think I know who it is.
All right, well, if I don't get this, I'm going to lose, so... Is it Jokic?
No.
Oh.
Is it Anthony Davis?
No.
Damn.
He's actually third.
Yeah, I knew was high up there. I just didn't know if he was one.
Is it Capella?
No.
Damn.
Dude.
First in blocks per game. Joel Embiid.
No.
Huh. Blocks per game with 3.2.
You guys might not get this one.
Oh, so it's a surprise. It's kind of like a... Okay.
Might be like a
All right, I have an idea.
It's not obvious. It's not like someone you'd think.
Is it a center?
He is a center.
Okay. All right. So my guess still falls in line.
Oh, is it DeAndre Ayton?
No.
I'm going to guess Hassan Whiteside.
That would be correct.
That's so funny. I was between saying him and Jokic, and I said Jokic. Stupid idiot.
Stupid idiot.
Idiot, stupid
All right, give me
idiot.
one. Give us one more.
All right.
How about this? This one's for all the marbles.
Oh, he's got to make it like impossible. Like
This one's for all the marbles.
Fumbles caused between 1980 and 1994. Like
Fumbles.
All right, go Ev. Give us an impossible one.
How about for every guess I get wrong, I get -1?
You're up 10-5, so
That's fine.
okay.
Evan's like, okay.
All right.
All right. That's a bad one. Okay, I think I got a good one.
Evan, you're a bad one.
Kind of. Wow. Okay. Who is the all-time leader in passing yards per game?
All-time leader in passing yards per game.
Passing
Yes.
yards per game.
Per game. So average passing yards per game.
Patrick Mahomes.
That would be incorrect. Incorrect. So that's -1 for Mike. It's now 9-5
Passing yards
per game.
per game.
All-time leader.
Is it Peyton Manning?
That would be incorrect.
Not Pat Mahomes.
Okay.
Not Peyton Manning.
Aaron Rodgers.
That would be incorrect.
Oh, I think I know who it is.
Now 8-5.
Is it Brett Favre?
That would be incorrect.
That was going to be my next guess.
Damn it.
Jeez. Okay. Passing yards per game. By the way, we do not have time for Izzy
No, we
Word.
don't.
I don't care. Let's just keep
we don't.
going. This is way more fun. This is way better.
Oh my God. Passing yards per game. God, I thought Favre was going to be it. I really
Favre is 20th.
God.
With
did.
237.
Wow.
Aaron
Passing
Rodgers.
yards per game.
Who was the other guess? Aaron Rodgers. He's tied for 11th with 259.4.
Where's Mahomes?
Pat Mahomes. Peyton Manning is 6th with 270.5. Pat Mahomes is.
He's got to easily be over 300.
Again, I don't know if he qualifies.
He might not qualify yet.
Yeah. I don't think he qualifies yet. Like Jameis Winston qualifies. He's 4th.
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
That says something.
274.1 for Mr. Winston. So 8-5, Mike. The leader.
Ben Roethlisberger.
That would be incorrect. It's 7-5.
Shit.
He's tied for 11th.
Is it Drew Brees?
That would be correct. We have a winner for all the marbles. It's Maddie.
I just want to say that is bull.
Oh, yeah.
That's baloney.
How much, Evan?
Tally, it's 7-5, 7-6.
No, I mean for Drew Brees. Like, what was his passing yards per game?
293. I actually got away from it.
That's so hot.
It's like 280.
Love that.
All right, so there we go. That's Snap the Stat. I haven't played that in a while. We got to bring that game back, Ev. We got to bring that game back again.
It's endless. You can do it like forever, and like
I know.
you never run out of
Could eat up a
questions.
whole show with Nab the Stat.
You can keep doing it, and then before you know it, you're going to get stuck like every time where like either I get confused if you guys said a guy or not, or if I did or didn't. I'm pretty sure with Tom Brady,
we got so mad at you.
I'm pretty sure with Tom Brady, you guys set him for the first spot, but if you did say it for the second spot,
We were like, we said Brady.
if you guys, but it always happens. It always happens every time I play Nab the Stat. I get on a roll, and all of a sudden I go, oh wait, I don't think you guys said this name yet, and turned out you did. But with Tom Brady, I'm pretty sure you guys set him for like the first one.
We both had a few home run answers.
Yeah.
Good game.
Oh, yeah.
If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Good game, Matt.
Good game, dude.
good
But
game,
you're not
good
smart, and you don't know anything about sports.
Thanks, buddy. You don't know how to collect news.
I don't.
You guys
right.
like the baseball. Good game.
All right, say Haystack on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll see you.
You're listening to the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.